Hello everyone. I felt like making a video in reference to my recent post on pandemic and riots and how it has helped us unite together. So as I mentioned in the post, we live in times where discrimination and demarcation have become rampant, and unfortunately we've begun to separate because of that. However, it has made us realize that unity is the only solution, and it has also helped us to unite, whether it comes to pandemic or any racial discrimination. Now, if you think about it, what is the base behind this unity and the feeling of oneness that we see in between every individual, and it's across the globe, it's not just region specific. If you think about it deep inside, it's all about the values, right? It's about the values that we have inculcated from our families, from our communities, from our nation's history, and also from our religious sects or our places of worship. And this is one thing which I would like to bring to everyone's notice, is that how often do we introspect on our values? How often do we consciously live these values so that we are able to take the right decision at the right time? I would also like to here introduce you to the values that have been inculcated in me through the organization that I'm associated with. And it has really helped me to remain peaceful, at the same time calm, on several such occasions that have happened in my life as well. Even during the pandemic that is going on right now, or it could be at the moments of riots here and there, and also getting impacted by things that are happening globally when it comes to war. So my values have been inculcated by the organization BAPS. BAPS is one of the premium organizations or premier organizations in the Swaminarayan sect. It's a Hindu organization, and I have been very fortunate to be associated with two spiritual gurus. My previous guru, Pramukh Swami Maharaj, always imparted that in the joy of others lies our own, and he actually went to an extent where he showcased this value within himself all the time, and it influenced us, impacted us, and it was so infectious that every follower of BAPS started to adhering to this value, and eventually helped several calamities, natural calamities that happened globally, not just in India, but whenever it happened, BAPS and volunteers of BAPS have been one of the first ones to reach out during these needs of the nation or the city at that particular time. And I would like to give an example of the Ahmedabad Akshardham attack that happened several years ago. And one of the messages given by Pramukh Swami Maharaj at that time was that of peace, of remaining peaceful, and considering this as an act of God and not retaliate. And imagine how really that impacted the state of Gujarat at that time in a very, very positive manner. Otherwise, it would have initiated or ignited a local riot which would have gone beyond repair. Recent pandemic, my guru Mahant Swami Maharaj has initiated this motto of helping as many people as we can during the pandemic, and to my surprise, the organization has been able to really help over 600,000 meals, actually hot meals, and over 6 million food packets that can actually be used to prepare meals at their homes, and several other things like N95 masks and ventilators, and those are all there. But it's just like it's pandemic that brought unity within the organization, as well as it really helped the organization to help those in need. Mahant Swami Maharaj also talks about a value called patience. He's a big advocator of patience, and if one is patient, it's so easy to then flow into the need of the hour. He also is a big advocator of being humble, right? He calls it Nirmani, and Nirmani means humble. And the moment one is humble, one tends to naturally help someone in need rather than helping someone for their uh, own position or own accreditation. And he also advocates the value of forgiveness. How frequently and how easily can we forgive someone, considering that any mistake done by someone is an act of human. So even during pandemic, there have been cases where people have actually ventured into areas when knowing that they are infected, and they are making another community or another area, putting them at danger. And Mahant Swami Maharaj has advocated to always forgive at that particular time, and positively act on the situation, so that we are able to stay united and work together for a larger cause, and work as a united front rather than separating ourselves. So I just wanted to add these things in reference to my recent post, is because values are very, very important in our life, and we get these values, we learn these values, we adopt them. Sometimes we first assimilate them and then bring them into a schema as our natural values, but we don't realize them, that what our values are. And at this point of time and this hour of the earth, where we talk about World Environment Day, we talk about pandemic, we talk about local riots, we talk about riots due to racism, or we talk about war generally and how everyone is impacted, whether it's economic war. Think about your values, right? Who you actually are, what are you made up of, and where have you inculcated these values from? They could have, if you look behind, if you look at your life, they could have come from your family, from your grandparents, from your parents, from your community, from your places of worship, or they could have come from your school, from your teachers, or from your professors or lecturers where you attended, or they could have come from your well-wishers around you, which includes your extended family and your friends. Very important that you introspect, bring those things, narrow it down to what you really think your values are, and reconnect where you have adopted these values from, and they have naturally made you the way you are, and it's your natural schema. So you don't really live those values consciously, but this is the time when we have to live those values consciously. So whenever we react to situations around us in the world, we react to them with a lot of consciousness. And most of the time, if you consciously react to those situations, keeping in mind the values that we have, we will react in the right proportion and with a very, very positive intention, and not with an intention to revolt or protest. So this is a message I just wanted to give, that it's the time of the hour, need of the hour, actually, where we remain united no matter what it is. Even though it's anguish, even though it's pandemic, but just keep in mind that we still have hopes and dreams. And it's not just us, our family and our next generation have hopes and dreams. And for that, we need to stay united. And to stay united, reconnect with your values. And to reconnect with your values, think about your life. Where have you got these values from? And whatever they may be, right? I've just talked about a few things, like our joy lies in the joy of others is one thing. Another thing is being patient, humbleness or forgiveness. But there could be several other values that everyone have inculcated or are within themselves. Just think about it, how these values will help you remain poised, focused and calm during this time that we are all going through globally. So that's it from me at the moment. Cheers. Have a good time, and hopefully you are able to regenerate, relive those values within you, and consciously take all your decisions henceforward, keeping those values in mind. So thank you very much, and thank you for listening.